Good morning from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well, sending plenty of love your way and hoping your bank holiday is going to go the best it possibly can. Now, no, I will not be going to Notting Hill Carnival. Don't ask me. It's a red flag for me. I'll tell you on a live, amongst other things later on, why. Now, breaking news coming in once again, and I know that I said that I would never call his name again on my channel, but hey, sometimes we always got to go a bit backwards and then to go forwards, because once again he gets headlines of some kind, and I suppose it's going to be like that forevermore with the way the social media, newspapers and those kind of things work. Not just in this country, but it makes the world go round. And he is mentioned again, and just also breaking news this morning is Mr. Sunak will be introducing whole life tariff sentence for many serious crimes now, after what happened with Lucy Letby the other day. We did say on Yami BTV, some of you said she'll get 30 and 35, but we did say, many of us, that she would definitely get a whole life tariff, and so she should really. But this morning's news, or so-called news, is that Levi Belfield and Wayne Couzens are besties. Wayne Couzens, the rapist, murderer, policeman, recently went to Franklin prison, and waiting at the gate for him, so they say, was Levi Belfield on the protection Rule 43 wing, which is a wing housed for vulnerable prisoners of various kinds, from men that are in debt, men that just can't manage normal location and are running off or just seek sanctuary to be on their own, and also the prolific sexual offenders, paedophiles, etc., etc., etc. He's obviously walked onto the wing as a policeman. Now, you've got to think that many of those, we've said it before, on the protection wing will still be unhappy that policemen played a part in getting them convicted. And also, let's always remember, there's a few not guilty ones on that Rule 43, which we would, from what you've seen on Yami BTV, that they will be over there and they haven't actually done the crime, but they're getting tarred with the brush, they're running for their lives, they're scared, they've been attacked on normal location. And they won't be happy with the police either, will they? Now, we know in recent times, Provern and Carrick, etc., etc., they're all going to end up there in the same place. Now, it is fair to say that Levi Belfield is the daddy of the Rule 43 protection wing in Franklin, HMP down there in Durham, right? Not for everyone, but he would have collared Couzens as he came on to the wing and offered him some kind of, yeah, come to me, I'll look after you, because they're over there, they're looking to do you, mate. But if you stick with me, you'll be all right. He's done that to a number of weaker individuals, because after all, there is many weaker, vulnerable inmates rather than him on those Rule 43 wings. So how it probably works is Couzens will be feeling scared, like many of his victims did. He will think, okay then, I'll stick with Levi Belfield, pay him a little bit here and there. It is already common knowledge that Levi Belfield has certain men cooking for him. He doesn't really have to do that much on that protection wing. His sheer size and presence and being the kind of man he is, he could probably thrive on a protection wing forevermore. But, looking carefully into it, and he will be getting pieces of each pie. He will be getting new pen pals. Well, mind you, he's getting married now, so he'll have to do that in secret, of course. He will get money sent in because he's got no one else outside to do it for him. And maybe with Couzens, he could learn a few things with the police, what he knows. He might be trying to tug him a little bit, whatever it can do for him. There's nothing that can say Belfield now. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, interesting, and some of you say, but hold on, Yami. How come Belfield's a Muslim brother, but he can't go on the normal location wing? Because many men of not as bad a crimes, but many men with funny offences stay on normal location once they got the Muslim Brotherhood behind them. I don't think Belfield's got a bottle. I think he's gutless. Now, the rumours coming in that in that same article, very interesting, David Bieber doing a whole life tariff for some murders with policemen, etc., etc. Michael Abalaja, the Lee Rigby killer, and David Copeland are mentioned in the article as being on the same wing as Belfield and Cousins, etc. We also hear that Cousins and the morgue monster killer, Fuller, are besties, and they also report on social media that they call them the odd couple because they walk around together. There's probably one person saying that, oh yeah, they walk around the yard together, they're always seen together. We can probably read between the lines that many of these versus kind of serial killers with their court cases will have that kind of thing to talk about. You can imagine the kind of conversation that Cousins will be having with Fuller, you know what I mean? Or even with Belfield, you know, what else would they have to talk about that they have in common with their crimes, desires, and, you know, their predatory ways? So the conversation will probably go a bit like that. The fantasies will still continue around there. This is what I said about such crimes a long time ago, that just because the death penalty can get rid of those fantasies and desires, but also we know with human behavior, well, I know that they will still, because of the way they are, we still look at their crimes and probably go over them and that kind of stuff. Sadly, you know, no disrespect to the victims' families out there, but that's probably the way it works. So the psychologists of the category A's say, if you get what I mean now. Michael Abalaja on Rule 43. I know him. Doesn't ring true. Maybe in the article they might have that wrong, because after all, Michael Abalaja is worshipped by the Brotherhood. No, not all of them, but a selected few will look after Michael Abalaja and protect him with their life. Is it because he's in Franklin and the Brotherhood could be a little bit weaker there that he might go on Rule 43? Scratching my head on that one. Look at the article. I can't see it. David Copeland, the day of Nelma, but he has a go. And the only thing is, I think he's been on normal location in the beginning of time, but recent attacks and fighting, he fights back. But he's a brother, Muslim Brotherhood as well. So wouldn't David Copeland be protected by the Brotherhood? I'll concede that, because he has been on Rule 43 protection, I think, for quite some time now. So I could possibly believe that. But David Bieber on Rule 43 on the protection when in Franklin, I can't see him like in Belfield, Bieber. But what could have happened, I'm just throwing it out there, that when he did the attack in Long Lartin on the lady prison officer, maybe the staff, and it's not been in the realms of possibilities, as a lot of us know, it could have been spreading around everywhere Bieber went from now on. He attacked a woman, and come on, you lot, what's he doing on normal location? Maybe Bieber has decided the safest place for me could be Rule 43. I'm not too sure about that, knowing the way that he thinks. I don't believe it, but it's not within the realms of possibilities, because after all, when the escape, so-called escape plan, the great escape plan happened with him, the helicopter, the church, etc., and all that, a lot of men fell when they wasn't involved in that. Keith Stewart, Paul Glenn, etc., they wasn't really happy at getting secluded for a long period of time from that. So I thought he would have been put on protection by then with the kind of powers that those kind of figures have, because of what he has meant to have said to this one and that one and that one to cause all the uproar with the escape. Remember, don't we, boys? But Bieber didn't go on protection after that. So if he is on protection now, it can only be because of the woman thing. Surmising, throwing it out there again. But Michael Abalaja, I'm not sure. But let's look at it this way. Michael Abalaja, the Brotherhood will stick together. Now, if Belfield, you know, if they really did accept him, you know, Nafi's crimes, like I said, there's many on normal locations that join the Brotherhood, that said he would be over there, chancing his arm. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So he's not safe. Abalaja would be safe, and Copeland would be safer than Belfield, I believe. Or would he? Because they're racialism murders. No, yeah, me think that one through again. No, Copeland would have to stay on protection. But of course, the Brotherhood, I'm believing, when in Franklin, do they have their Muslim service together with the normal population? I think, yes, they still do, unless you lot are telling me different. But regarding the morgue murderer, Fuller, and Cousins, kind of explain how that probably could work. Many men will walk around with each other. I mean, after all, on the protection wing, who else have you got to talk to? because everybody, well, 60% of them will be in for crimes like that. So it's not unusual for the media to report, well, he's walking around with him and he's, well, hold on a minute, they live next door to each other, he's across there, and oh, let's get together. So that's who they mix with anyway. So let's not blow too much about that, right? But Belfield is, Uncle Yami says, sadly for his victims and that, does have some kind of say on that protection wing. So his ways are still following on from the outside, and he gets a chance to do it. So hopefully the staff are doing their duties properly. I think I covered all that. But anyway, I'll be going live later on and send a special up to you this morning.